The Cash-Landrum Incident. In the heart of East Texas, where the piney woods stretched like ancient sentinels under a star-pricked sky, December 29, 1980, dawned cold and unremarkable. Betty Cash, a 51-year-old single woman with a no-nonsense demeanor honed from years running her own hair salon in Dayton, had enjoyed a simple dinner at a local cafe with her friend Vickie Landrum. Vickie, 57, was a devout Baptist and grandmother whose life revolved around family and church. Her 3-year-old grandson, Colby, tagged along, his innocent chatter filling the car with laughter as they headed back toward Huffman on FM 1485, a lonely 2-lane road flanked by dense pine thickets. The temperature hovered around freezing, frost glazing the windshield in delicate patterns that Betty scraped away with gloved hands. Radio static hummed faintly from the dashboard of her old Chevy, playing country tunes that spoke of lost love and open roads. None of them could have foreseen that this routine drive would thrust them into one of the most baffling chapters of WAF-O lore, a night where the veil between the mundane and the inexplicable would tear wide open. It began subtly, a flicker of light piercing the tree line ahead, like a harvest moon gone rogue. Betty slowed the car, squinting into the darkness. What in the world is that? She muttered, her foot easing off the gas. The glow intensified, resolving into a massive diamond-shaped object, its facets glowing an unearthly fiery orange, suspended motionless about 150 feet above the road. It dwarfed their vehicle, easily twice the length of a school bus, its surface humming with an inner fire that belched periodic flames from its pointed base, as if balanced on invisible exhaust. Heat radiated from the craft in waves, distorting the air like a desert mirage. Inside the car, the dashboard blistered under the onslaught, vinyl bubbling and seats scorching through fabric. Colby whimpered from the back seat, clutching his toy truck. "It's a candy apple, Mama. A big, hot candy apple." Vickie shushed him, her heart pounding as the temperature inside soared to sauna levels. Betty slammed the brakes, tires crunching gravel, the engine ticking in protest. The craft pulsed rhythmically, its light bathing the woods in an apocalyptic amber hue, casting long shadows that danced like specters. Compelled by a mix of terror and morbid curiosity, Betty flung open the door and stepped out, the cold night air slapping her face only to clash with the blistering warmth emanating from above. She edged closer, no more than 100 feet away, shielding her eyes against the glare. The heat seared her skin instantly, face, arms, neck-singeing nylon sweater, and hair alike. It wasn't fire, but something deeper, prickling like invisible needles driven by radiation. "Lord have mercy," she whispered, frozen in awe. Then came the thunder, a mechanical cacophony that shook the earth. From the shadows burst 23 massive CH-47 Chinook helicopters, their twin rotors chopping the night into frenzy. These weren't civilian birds. They were military heavy lifters, blacked-out behemoths Betty recognized from newsreels, each capable of hauling tanks. They formed a loose diamond formation around the craft, flying low and deliberate, as if escorting or containing the anomaly. The downdraft whipped pine needles into a whirlwind, bending saplings sideways. Vickie bolted from the car, scooping up screaming Colby and huddling against the fender. Betty stood transfixed, counting the choppers aloud 23. She swore later under oath more than she'd ever seen in one place, even near Houston's airfields. No markings gleamed under searchlights. They were phantoms in the glow. The diamond object hovered for 20 agonizing minutes, its flames guttering like a dragon's breath, before surging upward with a supersonic whoosh that rattled windows miles away. The helicopters banked in pursuit, vanishing into the starry void, leaving only silence and scorched asphalt. The trio piled back into the Chevy, trembling. Colby's cries echoed as they sped home, the car's interior reeking of melted plastic. Betty's hands blistered on the wheel. Vickie's blouse clung weightly to radiation like burns. They didn't speak much that night, each lost in shock, but sleep evaded them all. By morning, hell descended. Betty awoke with her face a mask of agony, blisters swelling, eyelids shut, lips cracked and oozing. Her scalp itched ferociously. Handfuls of graying hair shed with every comb stroke. Nausea roiled her gut, waves of vertigo sending her crashing to the floor. She drove herself to Parkway General Hospital in Houston, collapsing in the aisles where nurses gasped at the sight. One said it looked like she had been dipped in boiling oil. Doctors diagnosed severe sunburn compounded by something exotic symptoms mirroring acute radiation exposure, erythema, hair loss, gastrointestinal distress. Yet tests for chemicals, toxins, even nuclear fallout came back negative. Vickie fared little better. Concentric rings of burns ringed her neck and chest where she'd shielded Colby. Her hair thinned dramatically, nails loosened. The toddler vomited uncontrollably, developed diarrhea, and broke out in weeping sores pediatricians baffled, admitting him for observation. Colby's eyes, wide and haunted, fixed on lights with unnatural fear. Over weeks, Betty endured 14 hospital days, skin sloughing like a molting snake, immune system in tatters. Medical bills piled skyward, their lives unraveled. Word spread through Huffman like wildfire. Neighbors whispered of the devil's lights. Reporters swarmed. Betty sketched the diamond craft meticulously, five-sided, riveted seams, exhaust vents matching no known aircraft. Vickie corroborated every detail, even Colby's candy apple description. Polygraphs confirmed their truthfulness. Yet when they filed suit against the government in 1981, citing the helicopters as proof of a failed military test gone awry, doors slammed shut. The U.S. Army and Air Force issued blanket denials. No flights that night, no secret ops. FOIA requests yielded zilch. Investigators like John Schuessler of the Mutual UFO network documented radiation hotspots at the site beta-gamma levels 10 times background, but officials shrugged. Theories proliferated. Experimental laser craft, plasma weapon backfire, extraterrestrial diamond probe escorted by panicked humans. Witnesses later claimed seeing the convoy from afar. A nearby resident reported chopper noise till dawn. Years dragged. Betty's health never recovered, cancer scares, chronic pain, early death in 1998. Vickie soldiered on, testifying till her passing in 2015. Colby grew up scarred, avoiding woods at night. The lawsuit dismissed for lack of evidence, the incident faded to fringe lore, but not before imprinting UFO history as the most physically evidential civilian encounter. No craft like that diamond enigma has resurfaced. The 23 Chinooks remain ghosts. What scorched those Texas woods that winter night? Cover up? Alien tech? Dimensional rift? The survivors took the truth to their graves, leaving us to ponder under the same indifferent stars. NASA engineer John Schuessler, contacted by Vickie Landrum shortly after the incident, led the primary civilian probe through the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON. He documented radiation-like symptoms, site anomalies including elevated beta-gamma readings, and consistent witness sketches of the diamond craft, publishing findings in books and articles that highlighted physical evidence unmatched in most UFO cases. Astronomer Alan Hendry from the Center for UFO Studies, CUFOS, conducted a brief review, corroborating key details but noting challenges in verifying the helicopters. In 1982, LT Call, George Sarin of the U.S. Army Inspector General's office launched the sole formal government inquiry, deeming Betty Cash, Vickie Landrum, and corroborating witnesses like Dayton police officer Lamar Walker, who saw 12 Chinooks with downward beams nearby, fully credible with no intent to exaggerate. Despite this, Sarin found zero records of U.S. military helicopters or operations that night, concluding no armed forces involvement. A 1981 U.S. AF interview at Bergstrom AFB suggested legal action but yielded no answers. Peter Gersten represented the trio in a 1981 $20 million federal lawsuit against the government, citing medical evidence like Dr. Brian McClellan's 1991 diagnosis of Betty's injuries as textbook radiation poisoning, akin to Hiroshima proximity. Testimony from NASA, Air Force, Army, and Navy officials persuaded Judge Ross Sterling to dismiss the case on August 21, 1986, ruling no proof linked the event to any U.S. agency or diamond-shaped craft. Secret military experiment. Many researchers posit the craft as a failed U.S. prototype, perhaps a nuclear-powered propulsion test or plasma weapon escorted by Chinooks from nearby bases like Ellington Field or Fort Hood, with denials protecting classified tech. Witness sketches matched experimental designs, and Walker's sighting supports a convoy, though no flight logs exist. Extraterrestrial craft. Ufologist Stephen Greer claimed in 2020 it involved military recovery of a landed alien vehicle, aligning with radiation effects and the craft's unconventional diamond shape and flame exhaust defying aerodynamics. Lobe-like figures cite the physical burns as proof of non-terrestrial energy. Misidentification or hoax. Skeptics like Philip J. Klass argued witnesses mistook a bright meteor, gas rig flare, or weather balloon for a UFO, with helicopters from unrelated exercises. Symptoms attributed to stress or chemical exposure. Yet polygraphs, medical records, and site traces undermine this, as even Sarin vouched for credibility. Foreign or black ops. Theories suggest non-US tech, for example, Soviet probe, retrieved by joint forces, explaining unmarked Chinooks and cover-up, bolstered by 1977 Huffman UFO. Precedent Landrum, confused with 1980. These probes and ideas, blending hard evidence with stonewalling, cement the case's enduring enigma, no resolution after 45 years. Betty Cash's ordeal reshaped her existence. Released from Parkway Hospital after 15 days in January 1981, she returned home frail, her once vibrant hair reduced to patches, skin mottled with peeling burns that left permanent scars. Chronic fatigue plagued her. By 1982, unexplained cancers breast, ovarian forced hysterectomies and chemotherapy, which doctors like Galveston toxicologist Alan Munson linked tentatively to radiation exposure in congressional testimony. She lost her salon business amid mounting $100,000 plus medical bills, living off Social Security in isolation, haunted by nightmares of the diamond glow. Betty passed away on December 29, 1998, exactly 18 years post-encounter from complications. Skeptics tied to age 69, but supporters to lingering effects. Vickie Landrum endured parallel torment. Her burns healed into disfiguring rings around her neck, hair never fully regrew, and she developed heart issues, eye damage, and gastrointestinal disorders requiring lifelong care. A pillar of her Baptist church, she spoke publicly till the end, her faith unshaken yet voice trembling. It wasn't from God or the devil, it was something else. Vickie died in 2015 at 92, maintaining the story's truth on her deathbed, leaving audio interviews as testament. Little Colby Landrum grew into adulthood shadowed. By teens, he avoided cars and lights, suffered anxiety attacks, and spoke rarely of the event, its trauma imprinting a generation. The Huffman community felt ripples too. Neighbors like hospital worker Gail Jo Dean reported similar glows that night. Police logs noted anomalous lights. Media frenzy unsolved mysteries episode, Houston Chronicle exposes split opinions. Some branded the women attention seekers, others rallied with fundraisers. Yet stigma lingered. Vickie faced harassment, her credibility attacked despite passing FDA-administered polygraphs. The incident exploded into UFO canon post-1981. Featured in Schuessler's 1998 book, The Cash-Landrum UFO Incident, MUFON Symposia, and 2020's podcasts dissecting its hard data, radiation counts, medical affidavits, helicopter multiplicity unmatched elsewhere. It inspired art. Witness sketches became iconic, influencing sci-fi like The X-Files. Recent analyses, including 2023 radiation modeling by physicist Stanton Friedman, reaffirmed site anomalies, while declassified Project Blue Book parallels noted. In 2025, amid AARO hearings and Avi Loeb's interstellar probes, Cash-Landrum resurfaces online Reddit threads hit 10K upvotes. TikToks viralize Colby's candy apple, quote fueled by parallels to 3 IATLA's heartbeats and military. UAP reports. Disclosure advocates cite it as proof of non-human tech retrievals. Skeptics pivot to Gulf War-era tech prototypes. No statute of limitations binds truth. FOIA still yields redactions. Decades later, a grizzled investigator returns to FM 1485 under Harvest Moon. Flashlight sweeps reveal faded scorch marks, Geiger counter ticking faintly. In a Dayton attic, yellowed files whisper. A leaked 1982 memo hints at Project Diamondback, a black-budget fusion drive test from White Sands. Chinooks scrambling when it malfunctioned mid-air, scorching civilians in collateral. Pilots debriefed under NDA, symptoms hushed as training accident. But shadows persist. Colby's son, now grown, clutches a metal shard from Grandma's glove box iridescent alloy defying spectrometry, etched with untranslatable glyphs. As drones hum overhead, he murmurs, "They came back." The diamond's roar echoes eternally in piney woods, where ordinary nights birth legends and some lights never fade. As you lay your head down tonight, beneath those very stars that watched over that dark drive, remember this tale. For in the shadows, some lights never die. You've been listening to The Weird and Unexplained with John. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your heart ready for the unexplained. Good night.